In March 1867, after a long night of intense negotiations in Washington, D.C., Secretary of State William Seward and Russian Minister Eduard de Stückel finally reached an agreement. The two men signed a historic treaty that sold the vast territory of Alaska to the United States for $7.20 million, an astonishing bargain, amounting to less than 2 cents an acre. The deal was struck quietly, but its implications would echo for generations. This monumental agreement transferred nearly 600,000 square miles of land from Russia to America, instantly expanding the size of the United States. It ended Russia's colonial presence in North America and opened a new chapter for the land once known as Alyeska, a place of untamed wilderness and immense potential. For Russia, Alaska had become a distant and costly burden, difficult to defend and expensive to maintain. For the United States, however, the purchase was a bold leap toward becoming a Pacific power, even as many Americans and politicians doubted its value and called it Seward's folly. The formal transfer ceremony in Sitka later that year marked a quiet but profound shift in the balance of power in the North Pacific. Russian flags were lowered, and American flags were raised, signaling a new era for Alaska and its people. The story of why Russia sold Alaska is a fascinating window into 19th century geopolitics, a decision shaped by economics, strategy, and the ambitions of empires. It's a moment in history whose impact still shapes our world today. Russia's fascination with the vast, icy lands of Alaska began in earnest with Tsar Peter the Great's ambitious 1725 commission of Danish explorer Vitus Bering. Peter, eager to expand Russia's influence and wealth, sent Bering eastward to explore the unknown reaches beyond Siberia, hoping to uncover new resources and opportunities for the empire. Bering's daring expeditions revealed a land teeming with fur-bearing animals, especially the highly prized sea otter whose luxurious pelts would soon become the driving force behind Russian expansion into North America. Drawn by the promise of wealth, Russian traders and adventurers braved treacherous seas and harsh winters to establish a thin colonial presence. Their operations were eventually consolidated under the Russian-American Company, which governed from the remote outpost of Sitka. The company's settlements, forts, and Orthodox churches left a lasting cultural imprint on the region. Yet, the colony remained isolated, difficult to supply, and vulnerable to the elements and distance from Russia's heartland. At its peak, only a few hundred Russians called Alaska home. The colony's survival depended on the fur trade and often uneasy, sometimes tense relations with the indigenous nations who had lived there for centuries. Russian ambitions stretched as far south as California, where they established outposts in hopes of expanding their reach. But the vast distances, high costs, and logistical challenges meant Russian control was always fragile and expensive to maintain. Alaska remained a distant and precarious outpost, profitable only as long as the fur trade flourished, and always at the mercy of the harsh northern environment and shifting fortunes. By the mid-1800s, overhunting had decimated sea otters, collapsing Alaska's fur-based economy and turning the colony into a financial drain. Russia's defeat in the Crimean War exposed its military weakness and left the empire desperate for funds. Alaska, remote and indefensible against British Canada, became a liability. Fearing British seizure in a future conflict, Russian leaders saw selling to the U.S. as a way to gain cash and create a buffer. American whalers and traders were already encroaching, and Russia lacked the resources to stop them. The sale was a pragmatic solution to economic decline and strategic vulnerability. News of the Alaska purchase was met with ridicule. Seward's folly, critics called it, dismissing the land as a frozen wasteland. But Seward saw Alaska's potential as a gateway to Asia and a trove of resources. His vision was vindicated by the Klondike Gold Rush in 1896, which brought people, wealth, and infrastructure to the territory. Alaska's value grew with discoveries of copper, fish, and timber, and its strategic location became vital during World War II and the Cold War. By 1959, Alaska achieved statehood, its importance to the U.S. undeniable. What began as a gamble became one of America's greatest acquisitions. Alaska's transformation accelerated dramatically with the 1968 discovery of oil at Prudhoe Bay, turning this remote northern land into an energy powerhouse almost overnight. The vast oil reserves beneath the tundra not only changed Alaska's economy, but also reshaped its identity on the world stage. Oil revenues now fund most state services, from education to infrastructure, while the Alaska Permanent Fund pays annual dividends to every resident, creating a unique bond between the people and their land's resources. This innovative approach has made Alaska a model for resource management worldwide. Beyond oil, commercial fishing and tourism thrive, drawing millions to Alaska's wild beauty, abundant wildlife, and pristine landscapes. These industries support local communities and connect Alaska to the global economy, while preserving its unique character. Melting Arctic ice is opening new shipping lanes, making Alaska a strategic crossroads in global trade and geopolitics. As the Arctic becomes more accessible, Alaska's ports and waterways are poised to play a vital role in international commerce and security. The state is also a hub for climate and Arctic research, attracting scientists from around the world. Their work in Alaska is crucial to understanding our planet's future, as the region offers a front-row seat to the effects of climate change. Once dismissed as a folly, Alaska is now a symbol of foresight and enduring value, its natural wealth and strategic position recognized as essential to both America and the world. Today, as world leaders meet in Anchorage, Alaska stands at the intersection of commerce, science, and international politics, America's last frontier, and a global one, shaping the future in ways few could have imagined.